Welcome back, and today is the power of the subconscious mind part 2. So awesome video for you today. A lot of interesting points from the book by Joseph Campbell, and it's a very powerful book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend reading it, grabbing a copy and giving it a go, because from reading the book, and it really emphasized, or it really clarified in my mind how important the subconscious mind is, how important it is to achieving what you want in your life. It's sometimes hard to think of the subconscious mind, what is it exactly, but you can think of it from the book as this, it's like this constant, powerful thing that is just listening to everything you say, everything you do, and through what you say and do, you're programming it with to help you achieve things. So you can program it the wrong way, or you can program it to help you achieve what you want. So let's get into it. We've got 7 points today, and number 1 is before bed. So this means what you do before bed is key, is so powerful. And this is really, really true from my experience. For example, planning your day tomorrow before you go to bed is very powerful. And, for example, let's say you watch a horror movie at nighttime. I've done this, made this mistake in the past. You feel afraid, you have maybe nightmares. And so what you do before bed is very powerful, because your mind is sort of analyzing the day and analyzing everything, processing everything you've experienced during the day. So let's say you look at your goals before bed, or you do something good like that. You do some visualization before you go to bed. Then as you sleep, your mind will be processing that. And, there are also techniques that I've used that you ask the superconsciousness to help you fix a problem that you don't know the answer to. You have no idea how to fix it. So you show the problem, and then you sort of send it into the superconsciousness, and over the next day or so, you look for solutions, and they sort of come to you somehow. And that's a powerful, powerful technique. But before bed, very powerful. I always look at my goals and those kind of things before bed, and also have a hypnosis track I listen to as I go to sleep. So my mind is being programmed for exactly what I want as I drift off into unconsciousness. So what you do before bed is very, very, very powerful. Number 2 is faith. So having faith has a very powerful effect on the subconscious mind. And what this means is the subconscious mind reacts to faith. It works well when you have faith. If you have any doubts or you lack faith, it's not going to help you. So what this means in our lives is we have to have faith and build faith. What we want to happen is going to happen. And you do this with affirmations and visualization and repeating things, looking at your goals, but also you do this with just trusting what you want to happen is going to happen, and trusting that your subconscious mind will help you. So yes, so it's very powerful. Similar, I think, to religions. If you believe God is helping you, then things happen. You develop a sort of sense of faith and some kind of spiritual connection. The same is true with your subconscious mind. If you really believe, if you really have faith that things are going to work out, they do work out. So whenever you're communicating with your subconscious mind, trust, have faith that it will help you and it's all going to work out. So number 3 is imagine solutions. So when you have a problem, imagine the solution perfectly resolved. Imagine the problem perfectly resolved. And this is really powerful. This is obviously something that people don't do enough. When you think of, and myself included, the way a lot of people use their subconscious mind and their visualization abilities is they visualize things going wrong. And, it's funny, right? Like, why would you choose to do that over visualizing things going right? Well, I suppose it's because, naturally our minds are quite negative. So we are trying to avoid danger mostly, instead of trying to succeed at something that is risky. So if you have a problem or you have a goal that's a little bit difficult and risky, imagine it going right. Imagine the solution. Imagine everything working out well. And you'll be amazed how it will help that thing come true. So whenever I've done this, it always works, because as you visualize things going right, then you see the path in reality towards that thing happening. When you're visualizing it going wrong, all you can see in reality is the path to things going wrong. You can only see the negative. So always visualize the solution, no matter what it is. Visualize things going right. Always visualize things going right. This doesn't mean be delusional and don't anticipate things going wrong. You can do that. You can think out the possible scenarios where things could go wrong, but focus on the optimum positive solution, right? Number 4 is wealth seeds. So think of your thoughts like seeds. And this is similar to the great book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, where he describes the mind as a garden. And it's a great analogy because it really is true. Like, the mind is like a garden. Whatever thoughts you plant in it create fruit. Or if you allow negative thoughts, bad thoughts to take over, it's like weeds, and then you get, a garden full of weeds. So think wealthy thoughts. Think thoughts of wealth. And in the book, he gives the example of, thinking words like wealth, success. If you just continually think wealth, success, you're implanting or imprinting on the subconscious mind the idea of wealth and success, the feeling of wealth and success. And your subconscious mind can't argue with things. And but also, interestingly, in the book, he does make the point that if your conscious mind doesn't believe something, then the subconscious mind won't believe it too. So if you're telling yourself, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, but you're not wealthy and rich, then it's not going to work. So that's why saying words like wealth, success, and just feeling the feeling of those words has a powerful effect, because your subconscious mind can't argue with those words. Wealth, success it's not saying you are wealthy and successful, right? So plant seeds of wealth, and this is a great thing to do. And part of this is also having an abundant mentality. And if you have any thoughts of scarcity, try replacing them with thoughts of abundance. It's easy to make money. The money is abundant. There's so much money in the world. I have an affirmation about money coming to me easily, actually from the book. And I believe the exact affirmation is, God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. And I actually learned this from Tony Robbins, because Tony Robbins said when he was young, he read the book and he used this affirmation, and he would say it like with real passion, real enthusiasm, and just imagine all this money flowing to him again and again and again. And he programmed himself for abundance with this affirmation. And interesting to hear people like Tony Robbins talking about that kind of stuff, right? Because, a lot of people like to put down affirmations and say, that's just silly, like saying affirmations in a mirror. But, when somebody like Tony Robbins says it transformed his life, it's interesting, isn't it? It just shows you that a lot of people who are criticizing affirmations are maybe doing it because, it doesn't fit in with their path to success, But for a lot of people, think of all the people, Muhammad Ali, like all these people that say with confidence what they want to happen, and then they make it happen. They work. And there's no other way of putting it. So, wealth seeds. Number 5 is no resentment. So this one I love because this is something that, really hit home for me. Often when we want things, we are subconsciously resenting people who have what we want. So, for example, like if you want to be, let's say, a great example is making content online. I used to kind of judge people making content online, thinking like, he's a bit like this or that, he's a bit arrogant, or he's a bit something. But the irony was I wanted to do the same thing. So me judging him was making it impossible for me to do the same thing. But it was a subconscious thing. It was like, it's totally subconscious. So the point of this is, if you lack something, stop judging people who have that thing. Because some way or other, if you are lacking something, you are judging the people who have that. So he has a great affirmation in the book about this, and he basically says, when you see somebody wealthy and successful, instead of like criticizing in your mind and just being like a bit judgmental of them, if that is something you do, you just say, and I'm paraphrasing the exact quote here, but something like, isn't it great, this person's success? I wish them more and more success in the future. I wish them wealth and abundance and more success, something like that. So that's the general gist of the affirmation, and it really works because if you put out, appreciation for other people doing good things, you're kind of drawing that towards you. You're becoming on the same frequency as that, So definitely a powerful one. And number 6 is the lack of money is mental. So this is an awesome one as well. If you're lacking money, it is to do with your paradigm and your mind and your mental financial limits, right? So because, it's natural for us all to have an abundant life. It's unnatural for us to be lacking anything in life, to be lacking confidence, to be lacking money, to be, so he really makes the point that if you're lacking money, it's a mental block. And obviously, you could argue, well, if you're born in some African country and you're very poor, it's not a mental block, right? That is true. But let's just use the example of, like, in an average country, if you are below a certain level of income, it's a mental block. And we know this is true, right? Because everybody has financial limits. They've got a financial limit where they can't go above and a financial limit where they can't go below. So it depends on the person. A homeless person, their financial limit can be, low point can be like 0, like no money at all. And then a billionaire, it could be like, $20 billion in their bank account. So it's all about how you see money. It's all about how you see value in the world, how you give value, how much value you offer, So, and if you see the world in a scarcity mentality or an abundance mentality. So definitely, if you lack money, look at your beliefs about money. Look at your thinking about money and get rid of any limiting beliefs you have about them. Just flip them totally into positive beliefs and start programming them into your mind. And start thinking positively about money as well. So then the last one, number 7, affirm liking money and use wisely. So what this means is, this is a great thing to do if you're lacking money. So there's an affirmation in the book, and it goes something like, I love money. Money is good. Money loves me. And every day I make more and more money, and I forget the exact quote. But it's something along those lines, like, I love money, money loves me, and I use money wisely, and I make more and more money. So there's some quote, some affirmation in the book that is similar to that. So basically, you can use that affirmation, or you can use something similar to that you like money, and money is attracted to you, you make lots of money, and you use it wisely. And when you program that into your mind, if you have any issues with money, they'll become easier. Because as he says, lack of money is mental. So a lot of people who have problems with money, they have bad beliefs about money. They believe somehow money is negative. Somehow millionaires are all bad. Somehow billionaires are evil, right? How can you have a lot of money if you think it's bad? It's impossible. So you've got to like money. You've got to like rich people. You've got to, transform your relationship to it. So, guys, that is 7 points from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Hope you found it useful. If you did, smash the like button. I shouldn't say that. So if you did, give me a like and consider subscribing. And also, if you have any issues with these kind of things, I've got a link for working one-on-one with me. You can check out a quick video about what that involves. And also you can check out, there's also a link for a free group I have that you get free value in. So if any of those are interesting to you, check them out. Otherwise, have a great day. See you.